Ladies and gentlemen, last year I opened our convention with a theme and two words, and they were relevance and impact. This year I've got three words for our theme. And why three? Well, as a communications guy, typically you hear that it takes 3 times to actually understand that you've heard or recognize a message. In Asian cultures, 3, and the number 3 is associated with life and new beginnings, and that, I think, is very appropriate for what I'm going to talk about. And then lastly, maybe not so appropriate, attention span. Bottom line is we can only focus really on about 3 things at a time effectively. And I know at age 62, I'm finding my ability to walk and chew gum a bit more challenging, and others in this room may feel the same. So what are these 3 words? Innovation, transformation, and legacy. And I'll just say a brief few things on these. 2027 marks our 50th anniversary of the Sheep Show. And over the next 3 years, I personally, as well as our staff, will be focused on these 3 areas: innovation, transformation, and legacy. Of course, these 3 are in addition to our reason for being, our purpose, and our mission of wild sheep conservation, and raising and directing our resources, our treasure, our talent, and our time to their health and enhancement. The treasure is significant. Just last fiscal year, more than $7.5 million was raised and directed to the Wild Sheep Resource and Wild Sheep Foundation Mission Program funding. And this fiscal year, July 1st through June 30th, we have forecasted and projected $7.8 million in mission program funding directed to the resource. You guys are going to help us do that at this show. But ladies and gentlemen, for an organization of only about 11,000 members, that is a very long, relevant, and impactful shadow that we cast. So what is this focus? Well, on innovation, and I think you all will recognize, Wild Sheep Foundation is recognized as an innovator and thought leader in this industry. The Less Than One Club, our Take One, Put One Back, Donor Direct Appeal, our Marco Polo Society, our Chadwick Ram Society, the new Ram Layaway Program, our floor credit drawings. And what you see in here, best-in-class video presentations, are just a few examples of this innovation. So what's next? Well, I can assure you that the Wild Sheep Foundation staff are looking at what we can do next year, the year beyond, and then knock the cover off the ball in 2027. So what will be our next innovation? Stand by. Transformation. 16 years ago, when I was interviewing with the WSF leadership for this position, I stated that we must transform from the sole dependence that we have on an annual convention, or bake sale as I call it. We need to transform into a university style of fundraising and funding structure. The pandemic that we all endured a few years ago showed how very fragile that funding model is. And now Wild Sheep Foundation fared very, very well. We were innovative. We did transform. Others, not so. But you're going to be hearing more of our efforts to transform our funding model and the means that we do it. We're going to transform our communications. I remember I've been in this industry 33 years, and I remember that we started, it was typewriters and faxes, but they're now doing e-blasts and social media and YouTube. And funny enough, I remember when at SCI in 1996, I met a young tech wizard in Dallas who was working out of his apartment, who was the founder of AudioNet and later became Broadcast.com. Some of you may know that that was sold to Yahoo in 1999 for $5.7 billion. They transformed. We're going to transform our member and our exhibitor services and interface, our website, our processes, how we renew our exhibitors. And we're starting that this year with our exhibitor concierge. As you've seen, our new registration program that we're using at the show. And lastly, we are going to transform our fundraising, which brings me to that last word, legacy. We're going to endow the Wild Sheep Foundation. We're going to endow specific programs. Our youth programs right now are already endowed by a fund that's held with Midway USA. We could endow other programs, our Women Hunt program, our Ram Layaway program, our Less Than One Club, our headquarters in Bozeman, and we could endow our grant and aid funding and other specific projects. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm talking about is for every $1 million we raise and direct into our endowment fund, at a 4% annual offtake a year later is $40,000 a year to fund programs forever. So you're going to hear us talk more about that. So what will your legacy be? Well, we hope you can trust that WSF will be a part of it and our wild sheep conservation mission. So ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear more and more of this over the next 3 days and 3 years. Innovation, transformation, legacy. And also over the next 3 days, you're going to hear of another 3 terms: today, tomorrow, and forever for wild sheep.